Hello, everybody. We are live for Make It Monday at 8 p.m. I don't think I ended up putting this in the event or getting it there soon enough. So many of you might still be busy in your craft room or maybe out and about, but I know you'll catch this as a replay. So make sure that if you do, that you let me know that you are catching it as a replay, just because it's always good to see who's catching it later on. So make sure as you jump on, you say hello. Now, because we're in the private group, friendly reminder that in order for me to see your comments, I need you to accept the terms for StreamYard. If we're public, it shows up automatically, but it's in the private groups. It just gives you the option. And if not, that's okay. When you leave a comment, it'll just say a Facebook user. So welcome, as always, bringing back the Make It Monday, and it is kind of like on the go. So these ones I usually have something in my mind, but I don't necessarily have it all prepared. So you guys get to see me in real life stamping. Hello. Oh, Deborah, yes, thank you. My first day back at work. Thank goodness I'm able to work from home, because even going to the washroom was quite the adventure. It probably takes me a good 10 minutes to hop along, but they were very easy on me. My boss was super good, not telling anyone that I was back yet. So if you're someone that I work with, shh, don't tell everyone yet. Just slowly trying to get caught up on things, and it's coming along actually. And the end of the day hit, and like always, I was not ready to jump off. I was like totally in the zone doing something, and Tom's like, when are you like getting off? You have stuff to do. So anyways, I'm sure I'll get back to my old routine in no time. And that's the reason why this particular Make It Monday is been moved to 8 o'clock. In the past years, we've done it at 7 o'clock, but I just cannot, with work, get off in time sometimes in order to make it work. It should be easy, but I actually really love what I do. So sometimes when I get in that flow, I just keep going and I don't stop. But thanks for asking. I hope you guys all had a fabulous Monday. This is a full week, but then next, like, it's the long weekend coming up for Family Day. So hopefully you guys have some plans for the family. I thought, because I know tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and in case some of you are in your craft room making cards, or you might need some last minute Valentine's Day ideas, I've got a simple one here for you, or a couple of simple ideas. And it's not just Valentine's Day. This is for you to use for anything. Maybe you're making wedding cards or shower cards, or just want to tell your honey that you love them. It's just something I thought of that I wanted to share with you guys, because I love my markers, and sometimes they don't get the attention that they deserve, because we've all fallen in love with these alcohol blends. And blends are very important. Don't get me wrong. I cannot live without them, but I do still have to have my markers all the time. So I wanted to highlight them a little bit for you. And I came up with a fun technique and a fun card that I want to create with you. So I kind of have the idea in my mind. I've tried to create it, but you guys are getting the real life in action momentum. Not momentum. See, I can't even talk. I feel like I need to go to bed earlier. Nah, it's overrated. Okay, I am turning the camera over so that you guys can see fun projects. Now, again, I don't have anything pre-made, so you guys are seeing this on the fly, but trust me, these are techniques that you're going to want to recreate and remember. Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to change. Sorry, I have to go in the settings to change my camera. Oh, I have to actually plug in my camera? Yes. I'm going to plug in my camera so that you can see down below. Okay. For you guys, we are... Ooh, we're live, and you're seeing all my scrap papers. Need to come down to the lower level there. I wanted to do a fun little quick Valentine treat too. Tom was going to the store, so I'm like, while you're there, check to see if they actually have some candy hearts, because I actually don't have anything for Valentine's Day tomorrow for my dear kids. Isn't that sad? I usually always buy them. In fact, my son, that's why Riley wanted to go out of town. He wanted to go last night at 11 o'clock, and I'm like, no, buddy, you can't drive the highway at 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, just stay and go tomorrow.
And I couldn't understand why he wanted to go. Well, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Duh. I guess I'm not going to see him for the first time ever on Valentine's Day. That's what happens, I guess, when you get girlfriends, right? I mean, this is a friend that's a girl. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay. So what I wanted to kind of show you first is I wanted to remind you guys of some of the stamp sets that we have that actually have hearts in them. So if you're ever doing a project where you just want to add some love, so say a Valentine's Day, whatever that looks like, grab your stamp sets that have hearts in it just to have in a pile in front of you because you just never know what you might want or need. So this cheerful basket, I love this so much. I always forgot that there was these hearts in there. And plus, guess what? Markers, blends, they're fun to color. That's fun. The new conversation bubbles. I love this. It's got the little trio of hearts. It's super cute. So something to kind of add in there. And it actually does have the little words that say love ya. Then we've got a day to remember. And this has a fun little heart in there to use on the dates is kind of, I think, what the intent is. And to use in your checklists and stuff. I don't know how long this is going to be around. So I just wanted to flag it because sometimes we forget about some of these things that are in the catalogs. And in fact, let me show you. It's Your Day is what I used on these prizes. So we had our prize party on Sunday. Thanks again to everyone who participated. It was super fun. I hope to do it again next year over celebrations. And then next year we'll try for 2 months, once in January and once in February. But anyways, it's your day. That's what I used on this tag. And look, with hearts. And with hearts, the little embellishments, right? You gotta love all the hearts. So I wanted to show you that because I always forget that that's in there too. Because sometimes you just need 1 or 2 little hearts to get you on your way. And then, of course, the Share a Milkshake, which I know a lot of you had because we had this for last month's bingo, but there's those lovely little hearts in there. And then we have Celebrate with Tags. I love this set so much. I am like praying, you guys, let's try and make this, or let's hope it's in the new catalog because I've actually started to use this a whole lot. And I just love these hearts. Plus it has the Made with Love. You don't have to use the Made with, you could just cut out love. And then you got the X's and O's. Okay, I snuck this in here. There's absolutely no hearts at all, but you know what? You could probably make some cute hearts with these leaves. But I really like the saying that's in here. I always forget. It says, know that you are loved. And so that is another great saying. And then I just got this one with one of my recent orders, the Friendly Gnomes. It's got the little gnome with the heart. Is that not super cute? I think I'm a little late for this year, but look, it's got Love You. Anyways, again, hoping that that one carries over. And then we have the Country Bouquet for those of you who are lucky enough to get that collection. But it's just got all kinds of different hearts and the little pieces in there. So those are some hearts. And then, of course, we have the dies. We've got, because I can't go through all my dies right now, I did pull out a couple to show you. So this is the Conversation Hearts, and it's got a dual heart. Little tiny itty bitties. And there's actually 2 of those so that you can cut out 4 hearts at a time. Pro tip, make sure you use the adhesive sheets on the cardstock when you run those through, because then when they come off, they just peel and stick. Or you could use your mini glue or your mini dimensionals. That works too, but those are super cute. And in fact, we use those in my anniversary card on the weekend. And it turned out super cute. There's lots of hearts in those cards. In fact, let me just kind of quickly show you them because I know not all of you guys were there. And then we also use the Whirl It dies. Give it a whirl. I am bound and determined to show you guys how to use this, but I have to figure it out myself, which I have tried and I haven't yet. So I will figure that out to share with you one Monday. But there's lots of hearts in different sizes. So I just wanted to point that out, that there's like all kinds of different hearts in there. So that is actually the key reason why I bought that, is for the hearts, clouds, and stars. The Whirl It was like an extra, but those are the pieces I wanted to show you. But again, let me just quickly show you guys the little heart cards that we made at card night the other day. They were super fun and cute, but again, all full of lots of hearts. Ooh, the layering heart punch. I didn't have that out, and kind of more hearts on the inside. So hearts are always so fun. Here's an actual Valentine's Day one. Oh, on my other one, I actually did kind of do the shading on the inside with the heart. And then this is the anniversary card. Lots of hearts, the little heart pearls. Those are the best, actually. So if you're looking for a good value for your embellishment, here are the heart pearls. They come in like a frosted heart, a pearlized heart, and kind of like a clear heart. Actually, it's probably more pearlized, might be double pearlized. And they're in 2 sizes, but they're just adhesive backs and they're the best. Oh, I have so many of them. But anyways, I just wanted to show you again, all the little hearts. That's that little tiny heart that I was telling you about that's in there. And then more hearts, all kinds of hearts, right? We all love hearts. And whether you wanted this for a congratulations card or a baby card or wedding card, whatever, love goes with so many things, right? And then, okay, spoiler, if you're part of this month's bingo, don't look if you don't want to see the cute tag, but I added hearts to it as well. Kind of like with the heart punch in the back. And that Lucky Clover stamp set actually has a saying in there saying sending luck and love, which is so super cute. Okay, but let's get with what I wanted to actually share with you guys. Okay, so just as an FYI, I've already gone through and cut out a whole bunch of dies. Actually, confessions, you guys. Tom cut out all my hearts for me. Oh, I love that guy. I'm starting to not really love using my cut and emboss machine because I have amazing people who keep cutting everything for me. Right, Sue? Between you and Tom and Riley, all my stuff keeps getting cut out. But anyways, I'm just kind of sharing some of this because we've got something fun coming. I use the animal print paper and using the heart punch to cut some hearts. So we have all kinds of hearts to look at. But then the best part is, what did I do with this stamp set? Because I'm going to show you a stamp set and you're going to be like, what? Why? This doesn't make any sense. But the question is, my desk is clean. Like it literally is clean. And I already have the stamp on a block. That's the reason why. Okay, here it is, because it's hiding under some paper. I want to show you this stamp set. Thanks a bunch. It also has some love words. It says, love you. There's no one quite like you. One would think, hearts, markers, what's up? So while we're still on the whole heart phenomena, I'm going to show you. You're going to get some cardstock. And again, because this is actually a photopolymer stamp set, I want to make sure that I'm using my foam mat underneath like this. And then I am going to pull out my Mary Merlot ink pad, actually. I could use markers, and I should use markers since I'm featuring markers and stuff, but I thought for this, I can get away with just the ink pad, but it's hiding underneath my paper. When was the last time you guys used Mary Merlot? Does anyone have that in their stash? It's been a long time. In fact, I don't know, one of you guys might be able to correct me, but I think the last time I used this was when Chantel actually promoted to silver and we were in our basement for some project and I think I made a little tag or something with it. I don't know why. That's a memory that I have stuck in my face, but I want to show you, we've got this stamp set and I'm using the little tiny carrot right here because we're going to make a card and I want embellishment for my card, but I saw this somewhere online. I thought it was, oh my gosh, so stinking cute. You guys need to see this. Everyone is going to want a carrot stamp set now. So I'm stamping once, upside down carrot, right? Do you see that? It's an upside down carrot. Yes, and then we're attaching the bottom to the side. Poke. All of a sudden, I've got a little folk art heart. Is that not stinking cute? So I'm just going to kind of stamp a couple of them in case I decide I need another one. But plus I wanted to show you a little tip. Ooh, that one's even a better heart. Let's see. I want to screw up. One of my first ones I screwed up and I was able to touch it up with a marker. So I wanted to show you. Okay, here's one. I've got a little white space. I should have had way more, but I don't. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and grab my Mary Merlot marker. And I'm going to kind of open it up to the brush end. So these markers have two ends. We've got a brush tip and we've got a fine point tip. And it actually shows us right on here, not only with the marker ends, but with these lines. You'll see one line is thicker, one line is thinner. So that just makes it for easy spotting when you're like picking up and needing to put the marker in. So all I'm going to do is just brush up through that line to cover it. And just like so, it's filled in. But what a fun folk art heart, hey? Okay, so we're going to cut that out actually. And we're going to use that, put that aside with our hearts because we're going to make a card. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm hoping it's going to turn out fun. I just figure Mary Merlot is the one we're going to attempt because I kind of know I haven't used this marker a whole lot, so it's probably dried out. And I wanted to share some other marker tips. If any of you are part of the craft room cleanup crew, you'll know I mentioned on there that I'd jump on here and show you guys how you could possibly, keyword, re-ink your markers. So let's talk about Stampin' Write markers now that we've got our hearts and carrot all punched out. So they come in packages of 10. You have to actually purchase all the Stampin' Write markers by color family. Back in the day, they did sell them individually, and you never know because every time they kind of change the catalog, something new comes. Old things leave, new things come. But anyways, I've just got an assorted selection of Stampin' Write markers here. And so it was the Mary Merlot that I've decided to use. I'm going to show you a few other things actually too as we get going. No, we're still on hearts. Okay, I'm not even going to go ahead. We're going to do this with some scrap paper. Okay. I wonder if I can, somehow I think I can zoom this. I just got to figure out how to. There's like a zoom function. And of course my tech guy is gone. So let's just see if I can bend this more closer. Okay. And again, excuse my nails. I haven't been able to get out of the house to go see my nail lady. She came once, but you know what? It just wasn't the same because you just can't do all the fun work. So until they grow out, I'm going to have horrible, horrible nails. Okay, so with our markers, let's take a look. We're going to start with Mary Merlot. Before I show you how to refill them, I'm going to keep on with the hearts. I don't want to get off the heart topic yet. So with the brush end, so here's another fun tip that you can easily do, is you're going to use your brush tip with the pointy tip down, and you just kind of lean it down on an angle and lift up. Lean it down and lift up. And look at that. You've got a fun, quick, easy heart. So sometimes when I'm making tags and I'm using them, you might notice this type of heart on there. So depending on how hard you push on your brush, it's going to depend on what comes out. It's also going to depend how worn your brush is, because as you use them, the brush tips do fray, and you can go as big or as tiny as you want using those tips. I got to go a little bit tinier. Anyways, that's just another fun way to get some cute random hearts with your markers. Now, it does work with the blends too, because the blends have a brush end. But that's just another great use of your marker. And then, of course, you can just kind of doodle all around to like fill in the gaps, right? And that's just kind of like another whole class. Anyone who, you know, remembers sitting in class doodling, and then you can just add little dots here and there to kind of fill in. Anyway, I'm not a good doodler. I'd have to practice more, but I used to do this all the time in my scrapbooking before we had cute stamps back when I was like in my teens. Anyway, I wanted to show you those hearts because that is just another super way to fill it in. And in fact, we'll probably add some to our card. But let's get back to the refilling. Okay, so I'm showing you something that is not endorsed by Stampin' Up! In any way. So please, this is not advice, but for those of you who might have old markers around the house that if it gets destroyed accidentally, you don't care. But But if you're trying to preserve one last time, like maybe your marker is completely dead and before you order more, you just want to try, then you would give this attempt a try. Highly recommend that you have a napkin or a wet wipe, paper towel, something nearby. Because what you're going to do is you're going to have the matching ink refill. So when you buy your ink pads, remember, you don't ever buy your ink pads without your ink refill, right? You'll always have a fresh ink pad and Color for Life if you have one bowl of refill to go with it. So we've got the Mary Merlot ink refill and we have the markers. Now, this works on either tip, both the fine tip and the brush tip. What I'm doing is just taking the cap off. I've got a pair of pliers, just a pair of craft pliers like so. And what you're going to do is tap onto where the color is. So the plastic color part, so not the tip, but the plastic color part. And you're just going to not squeeze, but just close it so that it's not going to fall when you pull it. You don't want to squeeze too hard, but you do want to have enough pressure on it that it is gripped. So you're just going to grip the top and you're going to just kind of twist it. Twist and go, and it's coming. I probably should have that napkin underneath me, but do you see that tap coming off? And it's got the little tip where it goes into the ink. And so you can even tell it's only got like maybe an eighth of an inch deep. So I'm going to just set that down. I should probably show you here. Be very careful. Set that down. I don't want to break that in any way. But now this hole is open and I'm going to take my ink refill and I'm going to put drops in here. Now this is a very small cavity. Do not put more than 2 drops. I highly recommend just put 1 drop in. Now it might sit and bubble on the top, so you're just going to want to tap it down. Sorry, this is kind of close now. Put this up. Just going to tap it down and then put 1 more drop. Do not put more in than 2. I've done it. I've made huge messes. 2 is all you need to get going. And so then all you're going to do is put this back in and you're just going to push and turn. Whoa. Again, I just got to get that grip back. Again, I'm not pushing too hard, but just enough to twist it back into play. There. So that's the fine tip end. And then I'm going to use the other end. Now, the key trick with these markers is you want to make sure you do store them horizontally, right? Because you don't want the ink going in one cavity versus the other. I think it's a closed cavity on each side. I don't think it runs through the whole marker, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm guessing it doesn't based on the mess I made when I put more than 2 ink refills in it. So, when you go to if you were to store this upside down this way, all the ink's going to pull in here and no ink is going to be in the top part. So when you go to use your marker again, this isn't going to work very well because there's no ink in it. My tip is if you know you're going to use your markers and you know you're going to use your journaling marker, so like maybe that fine tip side, maybe 10 minutes before, go and put them in a container upside down so it works that way. Okay, so now we're on the brush end. Same thing, you're just going to put your tip in like so. And now remember, only do this if you're taking the risk to not wreck it. So this isn't endorsed. This is just something I know we can do and lots of people do it. So I'm very careful. This is like, you're like a science experiment, especially with this side because the brush tip is actually a solid felt piece. And so it absorbs the ink. So that's what the tip looks like there. Can't really see. But again, I just want to be careful so that it doesn't break, although I'm not being that careful. And again, I'm just putting 2 drops in. And then that's how you refill them, assuming you have the ink refill. So this works for the Stampin' markers only. It does not work on your blends because your blends are alcohol markers and they don't have refills. But for these markers, this is a way that you can preserve them if you want to try. And again, just slightly go this. Now, again, it might be messy, so just make sure you've protected your surface and you're good to go. Ooh. And it will need a little bit of time to absorb in those tips. So don't be in too much of a rush. Like don't plan to use it right away because it still needs time to absorb. I hope I tucked that in long enough. Okay, so just like that. Did anyone know that you could, was this new to anyone, or do all of you guys know that you can do that? As you had to sit there and watch me in action. Refill that. Anyway, fun tip to try and preserve your Stampin' markers. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's try something else. So I actually needed this marker because I wanted to show you a fun technique with our acrylic blocks. So this is what we're going to use to make the card. Okay, so Deborah, you've never done it yet, but you knew about it. Okay, cool. So here's an acrylic block. I'm just using an eye block. And again, I'm using my Stampin' Write marker. And what I'm doing is I'm using this as a plate to color. So I'm taking my marker and I'm going like this. Now this doesn't work with Stampin' Blends because like I said, it's an alcohol marker, which means it dries really, really fast. So I wouldn't recommend it with those markers, but definitely with your Stampin' Write markers, it's just another ink. You can use these to color your stamps, and that's the reason why I'm coloring this. So I'm just kind of not coloring the whole block, just a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a Stampin' Spritzer, my little bottle of water, so again, this is water, not rubbing alcohol, but water, and you're just going to give this a really good spritz. I want it nice and wet. I can see all those little pieces. Oh, shoot, except I didn't pre-cut some cardstock. Let me just quickly cut them. So I'm using some thick cardstock, and I'm just cutting it into quarters. So it's 5.5 by 1/4. Actually, let me just trim it down to exactly what I need. 375 by 5.25. That's what I want my card front to be. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try my best to center it. It's not going to be perfect. And then I'm just going to lightly tap. It's kind of moving a little bit, but that's okay. So this is thick cardstock. You could probably do this with watercolor paper as well. I made it all messy. Okay, you know what? I had it on there way too long. So let me just quickly do one more to give that one time to dry. You know what? Maybe I'm going to try watercolor paper. Again, this is like live on TV. Let's see what works best. So this is the Fluid 100 paper. I've got another one done and dried. It's just not as perfect as I want it to be. Okay, so the watercolor sheets, they come in 7 by 5 pieces. So I'm just going to trim this down in half. So to 3.5 inches. That should be good enough. Let's see if I can get this to work better on here. And then plus it's got the texture, which is super cool. Whoops, as I'm making a mess. Okay, I already made more of a mess. I don't want it to go right up to the edge. I like the little, the not perfect look to it, kind of the shabbiness of it. Okay, now we're going to spritz like that, just to make sure all the bubbles are there. And then I'm setting this down, tap, 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 not too long. This one's water paper, so I'm not too worried if I'm on there for a very long time. And there, now that's like really nice. And then as you have the water flow, you could either use a heat tool to heat it up and help dry it, or just set it aside and let it dry. I don't want those little drips to go too far down. I wanted it all to kind of stay in the center. So let me show you. I have one that's kind of already done here. It's folded a little bit, but that's okay. So this is what it looks like when it's dry. See how I went too far to the edge there? That's okay. So now what I want to do is take my Wink of Stella, because everything is better with Wink of Stella, right? A little splash of gold. This is kind of like a marker too. And I'm just going to do some flicking of the gold kind of all over within that Mary Merlot splash. It's not really dark, right? Because of the water spritz. And then I'm going to get really close just because I want some small splatters. The further the way you splatter, the wider it goes and the bigger it is. So I just want little tiny pieces there. And so that's the other thing you can do with the markers is just flick. And it just gives it that really nice kind of spotted look. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Goodbye, goodbye. Now we're going to use some gold paper. I've got some kind of gold foil, and we're going to trim this down to the size of a card front. So it's a card front. So 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to layer that over top of some Mary Merlot paper. Because it's Mary Merlot after all, right? I'm just going to line that up. I have to get up here. I'm not used to my camera when I'm downstairs. It's closer to me. It's not as far away. But I need to get in the screen so you can see it. Okay. So there we go. And we're going to put some seal on that and get it in there. And just kind of center that the best we can. Voila, right? Kind of see where we're going with this. We're getting a little bit of gold. But now I want to use my cut and emboss machine because I'm going to make a stencil actually. I'm using some cardstock that I had from another project. It's got adhesive sheets on the back so that I can use it on a project. And then I'm using the Alphabet a la Mode dies, and we're going to cut out the word love. So again, this could be for anything, right? Could be for an anniversary. Now the key is I do want to try and get this as straight as possible. Now, ideally, I would have my masking sheets from downstairs to line this up, or even some washi tape so that I could try my best to have it all lined up to where it needs to be. We'll just get them all on there first. I know you probably have lots of washi tape in your stash. You'll have, maybe you even have repositionable adhesive that you can kind of tack them down with, or even a sticky note for that matter. But I want to try and line them up the best I can. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but there we go. See if I can keep it that way through the movement. Oh, and I'm shaking because I've got paper underneath here, so it's not sticking to the table. Ooh, okay, only the E moved. Oh, well, that's okay. You get the picture. It wouldn't be my shabby card if I had it perfectly straight, actually. So I'm not too concerned. I do want to keep that. I'm just picking off the letters. I'm just putting them back on my sticky thing so I don't lose them. Tell you, these are such awesome letters. I've started to use them a little bit. I have to say, though, Brenda was the one who got me addicted to them. I wasn't too sure I was going to get them. But then she made me that cute little crate with my name on it. And I was like, I need it. I absolutely need it. Okay. So here I've got my template and I need that little piece for the O. And I'll save that love and I'll use that on another project or on another card here later on. So now what I'm going to do is take that piece back. And in fact, you know what? I am taking the risk all around because I want this to be a flat surface. So I am going to go ahead and I am mounting this baby directly to my card front. Now there's probably gasping happening. Oh, shoot. I didn't trim that down enough. I only trimmed that in half, but not. So what did I say it was? 3.5. Oh, no. Oh, right, because this was my other one that I did. Got to trim that down to 3.75 and make sure that that is by 5. That is by 5. Okay. So we are going to center that on here like so. I feel like I could have trimmed another 1/4 inch off the bottom, but oh well. Okay. So we're going to try our best to line this up to center. And I've got that in there as well. Now, ideally, this is where I wish I had like a glue dot or something sticky. I don't want to put the whole sticky down, otherwise it's not going to come out. Okay, you know what? I'll do that one after. Because again, this is like live action. I only had an idea. I don't know if this is going to work. So like, let's hope. I'm thinking it's as centered as it can be. I probably should have washi tape or maybe some sticky notes. Actually, I got some sticky notes right here. Let's try adding that. Let's put some sticky note down here to hold that in place. We don't want any boo-boos happening, right? Okay. I'm using the brush end and I'm just using this like a stencil. So I'm just brushing, brushing, brushing. And then I'm just going to brush all around the O and the V. Another reason why these markers are fabulous, right? They fit in the stencil. Okay, but then I've also got this little guy. I feel like I need to put something in there. Let's take this off and see. Look at how cute that is. Okay, do you think I need that little center, that little O? Do I need to like use the fine tip to go around? I don't want to risk it. Let's just leave it like this because otherwise it's going to get kind of ugly. So there's like a lovely, cute little card, but then now we get to add all kinds of extra love. Oh, except look at that heart's way too big for that now. Oh no. Okay, but you know what? This is where you get to go through all of your stash to see, oh, what else do I have? I do not get rid of my stars and my hearts. So I have like a fun little heart, an old heart punch that's retired because it's super cute heart. I can't remember. You know what? I think there was actually an animal print stamp that was in the stamp set that this heart punch bundle was in. Okay, so that's like a little smaller. So that'll work. Maybe. It's still covering that E. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Ooh, okay, maybe up there. I'm gonna mount that one directly. I'm not gonna raise that one because I'm gonna raise the other ones that go around it. So let's just put that there. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm not gonna stick that down directly yet. This is bugging me. These hearts are too big. Okay, so much for like having this great grand idea. Good thing these hearts are smaller. Right? We've got a couple of them that can go in different direction. I guess I could cut some of those sizes out. But we want to use this heart. So let's find some dimensionals for our rustic heart. I love that so much. Love, love, love. And then we need some like gold ribbon or thread. Now I've only got this thick cord, but you know what? We're going to cut some of that out to go behind that heart. Anyways, I just love hearts so much, and I think Happy Heart Month is a great time to kind of share them with you guys. You'll find I'm adding hearts to projects this month a lot more so than any other month. So what I'm doing is I'm just snipping that cord and scrolling around. Okay, so now if any of you guys want to be entered in to get this heart card mailed to you, just put in the comments #hearts. #hearts. Now you have to have accepted the terms so that your name pulls up as part of it. And I know some of you guys have. And you have to be live in order to participate. The fun tool only goes while it's live. But I think it picks up on all the comments. So if you've posted and left, it should still pick it up as far as I'm concerned. So all I did was twist, and now I'm pulling apart all the threads. I think this makes up like 3 threads, and then some non-gold make up the cord, the inner workings of the cord. But then you have some fun little thready pieces. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to need 1 or 2. So let's just keep pulling for all those extra threads. Now, speaking of threads, did you guys see as one of the new celebration items is that ribbon, the white ribbon that you can get for free? They're the ones that I added to these little tags. Like, and I was thinking of it just because it frays. I cut this ribbon in thirds and in half all the time, and it's shabby, right? It threads. But anyways, as part of that celebrations for the $60 order, you get not one roll of it, you get 2 rolls of it. So anyway, I just ordered another batch because I have some fun ideas to make some banners with it. Okay, so now that that's there, I want to, what do I want to put it under? I wanted to put it under this heart, but now I've added that little thing. Can I still do it? Okay, let me glue these down first, and then I could put adhesive over top of that, and then I'll feel a little better. Okay, so we're gonna go one there, one here. What am I gonna do? I really want something to do with this in there. Oh, I just don't want to go find the dies. I'm being lazy. You know what? That's okay. We'll have to add that to another project. And now I'm going to just add a little bit of adhesive there so we can put some of this threads, because it just looks so cool having that backed in and out, right? Okay. And which direction? Like that? Maybe like that. Okay, that didn't turn out as good. That thread is like everywhere. I just need to tuck some of it in. Oh, again, real life stamping, you guys. I have to suck it up and waste that dimensional because this is driving me bonkers. Let me put the little flippy end on and flip this off. Okay. Anyways, I hope you liked some of those tricks and tips that I shared with you with regards to the markers and making little hearts. There's also one more thing. Actually, maybe I'll try with that big heart here right away. There is something else we could do, and maybe it'll be good on another project. So I'm just going to weave this back and forth on here. And this is what makes it look the best, is when you weave it back and forth on the project that you want the thread to be in. Like I said, I think I might want 2 of them just to give it more feel of this beautiful thread. So it's just back and forth, like so. And now that I have it on there, now I can go ahead and add the dimensionals to the back. Okay. Do that. Voila. Okay. And now we're going to cover it like that. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. And now we've got some other cute little hearts. So we can go ahead and just put some glue dots. We don't need to raise it a whole lot. But we'll just pop one of those on. And then, of course, you know what? I'm sure we've got some gold bling. Well, we've got these other hearts. Do we want one of these hearts? See, they're not really gold, though, but the pearlized ones work. So you have to kind of just see what goes with the project. The pearlized ones will work so lovely. In fact, I'm going to just take one of the little, actually, maybe I'll take the big one. I'll take the big one, and I'm just going to put one right on the O. Just for a little. This might be too many hearts, but you know what? I don't know. I don't think you can never have enough hearts. That, and then maybe some gold. We need some little gold bling bling. There's the new adhesive sheets. Ooh, there's also these. I don't know if you guys have seen those little gold sequins. That's actually a really nice shiny gold. Let's use those. They're called gold facetive adhesive back sequins in gold. Oh, and look, there's even half ones. So like little moons in there. Oh, maybe let's use a little moon instead of a full one. You know why? We can put it in the O. That would probably look super cute, wouldn't it? Or maybe it's just me that thinks that. Okay, maybe it's not going to work. that requires more thought. We'll just use one of the cute little guys to put up here with this one. Okay, so there's a super cute love card.